Hello students, today I am explaining you pituitary gland, also known as master gland. Where is the location of this master gland? You all know this hypothalamus. Hypothalamus means this is the part of midbrain. So pituitary gland is present or located just below the hypothalamus. This is the location. Size is size of pea, and this pituitary gland, it hangs down from hypothalamus. Now the structure of this pituitary gland is made up of 3 lobes. One is called the anterior lobe, anterior pituitary. Then it is called the posterior, the backside, posterior pituitary. And in between there is intermediate lobe, in between these anterior and posterior lobe. All these lobes, anterior lobe, posterior lobe and intermediate lobe, they will be secreting different hormones. And these different hormones, they have different functions in the body. Pituitary gland is known as master gland. Why it is called master gland? Actually, it secretes many hormones. As you can see here, there are many hormones I have written here. These all hormones are secreted by pituitary gland, either anterior lobe or posterior lobe. But why it is called master gland? Because these all hormones which are secreted by pituitary gland, they control other glands or they stimulate other glands, other endocrine glands to secrete their secretion, and that is why it is called master gland. So first we'll see which hormones are secreted by anterior lobe. Now anterior lobe, these all hormones are secreted. First hormone is GH, growth hormone. Second is TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. Third is gonad stimulating hormone. Then is ACTH, that is adrenocorticotropic hormone. ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone. LH, luteinizing hormone, or ICSH, interstitial cell stimulating hormone. Except GH, except growth hormone, rest all these hormones are called tropic hormones. Why are they called tropic hormones? Actually, these all tropic hormones, they are secreted by anterior lobe of pituitary, but they will be stimulating or they will be controlling other endocrine glands. So because they are stimulating other endocrine gland to secrete their secretion, they are called tropic hormone. This is mostly asked in the examination, that what are tropic hormones. So tropic hormones are hormones which they stimulate other endocrine gland to secrete their secretion or to secrete their hormones. For example, you can see TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. This hormone is secreted by anterior lobe of pituitary, but it will be stimulating thyroid. Gonad stimulating hormones, secreted by anterior lobe of pituitary, but it will be stimulating testis. Gonad means reproductive organs. So testis and ovaries to secrete their hormones. Same way, luteinizing hormone will be, it will be stimulating ovaries for the function of ovulation. ICSH, there are interstitial cells in the testis and they will be secreting male hormone testosterone. So this hormone will be stimulating testis to secrete their hormones, and that is why they are called tropic hormones. Now I am explaining you about GH, growth hormone. This growth hormone, as the name indicates, this helps in the growth of a person. This hormone will be helping in the growth, especially during the adolescence and other phases of life. So in case there is deficiency of this hormone in childhood, growth hormone, if it is secreted in less amount during childhood, a child will become dwarf, and the condition is known as dwarfism. On the other hand, if there is over secretion of this growth hormone during childhood, then the condition is known as gigantism, and as a result a person will become too tall. Condition is known as gigantism. But remember children, there is another condition due to over secretion of this growth hormone but after adolescence. That means during adulthood. If this growth hormone will be secreted in more amount, then what will happen? A person will suffer from problem that is known as acromegaly. And in acromegaly, especially the bones in the face and in the hands and feet, they will become very large. And a person will have large nose, very thick lips. These conditions are caused due to over secretion of this growth hormone during adulthood. So, less secretion of growth hormone in childhood will cause dwarfism. Over secretion during childhood will cause gigantism. And over secretion of this hormone during adulthood will cause acromegaly. Now, I have already told you about these tropic hormones. Now come to this posterior part of pituitary gland. Posterior lobe, it secretes two hormones. One is called ADH, antidiuretic hormone. This is also known as vasopressin. And second hormone is oxytocin. See the function now. This antidiuretic hormone, which is also called vasopressin, its function is to constrict blood vessels, and also it will help the kidney to increase reabsorption of water. You know, in kidneys, they will be reabsorbing water. Reabsorption takes place. So when this ADH hormone will be secreted in more amount, more water will be reabsorbed by the kidney tubules. And in case there is deficiency of this hormone, ADH hormone, if there will be less ADH hormone secreted, then reabsorption of more water cannot take place in the kidneys. So, a condition known as diabetes insipidus will take place. Diabetes insipidus means, in this condition, there will be loss of water from the body. That means large amount of urine formation will take place due to deficiency of this ADH hormone, because most of the water will be excreted out, and as a result there will be loss of water from the body. Second hormone is oxytocin. Oxytocin, it stimulates contraction of the uterus at the time of childbirth. That means at the time of delivery of the baby by a pregnant mother. And this stimulates contraction of the muscles of the uterus and also helps in ejection of milk from the milk glands in the mammary glands. Now, one thing to be noted here is, earlier I have told you that due to less secretion of insulin hormone, a person suffers from disease that is diabetes mellitus. And here, deficiency of ADH hormone will cause diabetes insipidus. So, both are called diabetes, but the reason is different. Diabetes mellitus is caused due to hyposecretion of insulin hormone, and diabetes insipidus is caused due to less secretion of ADH hormone, which is also known as vasopressin. Now, there is intermediate lobe also. Intermediate lobe, although it is not very well developed in humans, but it secretes a hormone MSH. MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone, and melanocyte stimulating hormone, it helps in pigmentation in the skin. This is all about endocrine system.